Meeting to order. Dave is not going to be here tonight. He's out of town. And Kay is not able to make it out tonight. So we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Lynn, do you care to say prayer?
Of course, we come to you tonight. We just want to thank you for bringing us all here safely. And we just ask that you be with us in this council meeting, dear Lord. Be with the council members, dear Lord, and help them as they make decisions to help our town move forward. These favors we ask in your name. Amen.
We'll say the pledge.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With me running the meeting, Jacob's actually going to be taking notes. So Jacob, if you want to go ahead and do roll call.
Councilman Dowdy,
Present.
Councilwoman Vickers,
Here.
Councilwoman Fletcher,
Here.
Councilman Siner here, Councilwoman Asbury, Recorder Siner,
Yep.
Mayor Fletcher, and Attorney King. All right, we have a quorum.
Alrighty, first is the approval of minutes for the December 19th regular council meeting. So if you want to look over those real quick and tell me if you have anything. Correct. Yeah, because she wouldn't have been here to run these things. Alrighty, we have anything from the minutes? I will tell you that I spent a little bit more time, of course there wasn't a lot to write out. Alright, so if there is no corrections for the minutes, we need to make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Alright, Melanie makes a motion to accept the minutes as presented. We have a second.
I'll second.
Alright. All seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Next item is the December 2023 financial statements. You're going to see that our income for the month of December was $111,420.08. Our expenditures for the month were $63,175.14. Which gave us a surplus for the month of $48,244. Out of that income, keep in mind, $75,000 of that was actually from Comores. So that's their annual contribution to the town. Other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot as far as income or expenditures out of the ordinary. I did go through, I was hoping to maybe adjust the budget based off of some trends that we're seeing. For example, our gasoline and excise tax and the public utility tax are higher than budgeted, which we will correct that closer we get to the end of fiscal year, but everything else is kind of falling into place. So, are there any questions on the expenses for the month? All right, if not, we will need a motion to accept the financial statement as presented.
So moved.
All right, Jacob made a motion. We have a second.
Second.
All right. Mark made a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. All right, so ordered. Thank you. Next is the follow-up on Friday night bands. Melanie asked us to actually put that on there.
Yeah, what I did was, is I talked to Shirley, and she said that she could actually have food one time a month to start out with, because she's having some issues with her husband as far as him being sick. And then, is that her sister, or who is that?
Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law,
Her
okay.
brothers.
So I talked to Clarence, and Clarence is gonna try to get a hold of some of the bands for February, and see if we can get one scheduled for February. It'll probably be at the last part of February, but as soon as I know that, then I'm assuming, we'll ask tonight if it'll be a go, just have it one night a month.
Yeah, instead of 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also is because we don't really have enough council, that's free that can do 2 nights a month. Every time, so.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is just because we can't have food there 2 nights a month, and it's just like Thursday, Shirley's thinking about doing a Thursday night as far as having food there, cause she doesn't make any money.
I'll tell you, this past 2 Thursdays were bad. I mean, I think,
Stairs, like.
oh, yeah, I mean, it was that way there.
You see,
She's already quit that. She didn't do Thursday this.
Okay, she told me she was going to, yeah. But, they dropped down to like 10 or 12 last time, and then they said, well, we can build it back up if we get food there. When we got Shirley to do it, and it did pick up a little bit for a little bit of time, but I just think we need something different.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not sure what the answer is. We have bingo one night a month, and then,
we had a good crowd for that.
yeah. But I think we just, so if you guys have any ideas of what we could maybe do on a Thursday night that, would be something else, game night, a movie night, something. I mean, I hate to not use the gym, but, we just need some new ideas as far as maybe something else. You have any ideas, Shannon?
Oh, I got a ton of them, but
Well, I mean,
if I'm
hey,
gonna try,
you know.
I'm done trying.
I mean, call me and at least run it by me, you know what I'm
I
saying?
have a whole book, but I'm just,
But I'd
anymore.
like to see things go, but it's just, and if you look, most of the people that even come on Friday nights are not from town Belle.
Yeah,
I mean, they're from Boone County, Ripley, Hurricane, Huntington.
I will say I think you'll do a good job if you do the movie night, but you gotta be cautious because you got copyrights involved. But we had a plan that we were going to get the businesses involved to sponsor one of those movies. So maybe you could get a business to sponsor a movie for one per month. And as long as you don't sell food, stuff like that, then you'll be able to get away with it. There's a lot of legal issues, which you might check with him, but copyright is the main thing. You can't just have a movie night. But I think that would be a great thing because people would probably love to just come in and sit
And we probably
and
just have free,
Yeah.
like free Kool-Aid or free punch. And
popcorn,
free popcorn.
something like
I'm
that.
just saying, I'm kind of ignorant to the whole law piece of that. So you're saying that if we sold food, that
Yeah,
That
if there's
would
an
be-
issue with copyright, if you sell food or if you sell tickets, then you have to give them a portion of that. So that's why people usually don't do that. You just give like free
Yeah.
popcorn.
well, I don't think we'd really be able to make money
No,
anyway.
it would just
No.
be something to, because Thursday nights we don't make any money anyway.
But if you could get somebody to sponsor it and then have like a commercial for them at the beginning of the movie, that might be something that they
Oh.
might like. And I think that last time I checked, a movie is going to run you probably about $2,000
Really?
for one night. And maybe if you check with radio stations, because they do it, maybe they got an inn that you could use. I didn't get
They
that
do
far.
them on Magic Island.
I didn't get that far, but they might have an inn that you could use. And they always have big movie nights, so that might be nice, especially for these cold weathers. Perfect thing to do to bring people in.
Thank you for that, because
That's
that
good.
is, But anytime anybody has any, and I know there's not many people here tonight, but anytime you guys have anything, call me. My number's all over the place. Call me or Facebook me, or say, hey, can you meet me at Town Bell, or whatever. I mean,
Didn't they used to hold, neighborhood watch meetings there at one time? Did we hold them here?
yeah, actually, I was one of them that was over it.
Did it fizzle out?
some of the people, we even had stickers made up and had signs made up and everything. And the little stickers were just like, what do they call it? It just sticks clings. Yeah, so you could take them back off. And a lot of people wouldn't use them because they said that they were afraid that they'd be targeted,
Yeah.
you know. But that was the whole idea, not to target them, but to
Bring awareness that they're watching.
bring
That
awareness that
somebody's-
everybody,
yeah.
that somebody's watching, you
Yeah.
know. That's just like the other night, I let my dog out at 4:30 in the morning. And this guy was coming down my street, and he was a white male, probably about 6 foot tall. He had this sounds like a movie, I know it does, but it was like, he had, you know where they show these movies that you go in and you empty all this stuff on this sheet, and then you just fold the sheet up? And he had a gun case in his hand. And when I let my dog out, she started barking, and he took off running, and this is before the snow hit. He took off running and fell right there at Central, between Central and 6th Street, and then grabbed all his stuff and took off again. So, number one, he's out at 4:30 in the morning, so I know he was up to no good.
Yeah.
When he took off running, because my dog's in a fenced yard, you know, and then, you know, he had all that. So I don't know if somebody, you know, because there's a lot of older
Nothing
people.
recorded.
Well, not that I know of. I mean, I told Glenn and them about it, but there's a lot of older people that have died off, and their kids just go visit their house every so often to check.
4:30 in the morning.
No, but they check on it every so often, so they
Yeah.
may have not even
Yeah.
been by to check on it or anything, you know. But he come through the walkway down there and come up onto 6th Street.
Hmm.
So, but,
Do we not
Yeah.
have a list of those houses that maybe the police could check it, like once a week or something,
I
make
don't
sure?
know, I mean, we don't have, but I don't know if Glenn and them have or not. But that's a good
Or
idea
maybe
to
the
ask.
ladies.
They can at least swing by and
Mhm.
stop, stare at it for a minute, see if anything jumps out.
Yeah, yeah, but he was definitely in a hurry whenever, you know.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Alright, well, I know when, this administration took over 6 or 7 years ago, the rumor was that we were gonna kill the Thursday night sings, and they came and asked us, and we said, listen, that's not the intention. And that's still not our intention, but it's, I mean, you're down to under 10 people, aren't you? It's,
But I think the summer times do better
They
than
do.
Thursday nights.
no, I agree.
well, and you know, I mean, I had a guy contact me and said, I'd like to do karaoke, you know. If those guys on Thursday night would say, okay, you know, we'll play for a half hour or so, and then we'll do karaoke for, you know, something different
Mm-hmm.
to maybe bring people in, cause people like to, you know, carry on and have a
The
good time.
only bad thing about that is to set all that equipment up for an hour or 30 minutes and then tear it down. I mean, we DJ, and there's times it takes us 2
Couple
hours.
hours.
Really?
No, we do a big light bar and stuff, but I'm just saying, it almost might be better, say, 2 Thursdays a month, you know, we'll have you guys sing, 2 Thursdays a month, karaoke, or maybe throw karaoke in there once to see how that works out.
But see, then there you go.
Now you're killing the singer, so, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Even Dave said, and everybody said, which is true, these guys have always been here, it's always
Yeah.
been free, and it's been something for the elderly
Yeah.
people to do. So you hate to get away,
I
and I
agree.
don't plan on doing away with them at all. It's just, we gotta come up with something to get people in here.
More people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, any ideas, definitely run it by Nicole or Melanie. With that, the next item is the Christmas light contest winners. I know that was mentioned in several areas, but I don't think it was mentioned here, and Mark brought that up, so, if Melanie, if you wanna
First
cover that.
place was Daryl and Kaylee Holstein. They're kind of new to Belle. They did live on down the river here. But they were really, they had music and everything to theirs.
They're on what?
They're on
Sixth
Sixth Street?
And then,
And Kaylee actually isn't new, she's been here
Yeah,
for
she's been
years.
here, but-
She rented from us, actually,
Her
where
and her
Brooke
mom.
lives now, her and her mom for years, yeah.
and now she's married. And then second place was Shirley, Snodgrass. And then third place was Biddy Smith. So, and all of them, I mean, they really went all out. And I have nothing to do with that other than driving the vehicle. And whenever they judge these houses, they have a criteria that they go by, and they have no idea who lives there, cause all we give them is the address. And we pull up in front of it, they do whatever they wanna do, they have the sheets, and then at the end, they turn them into me, and I give them to Lynn, so. But I wish there was more people that participated, because there was a ton of houses that were very, very pretty.
Well, I was asked the question, and I'm not sure, I was gonna pull up ordinance, I don't even know if it's on the ordinance for the Christmas lights, but what if they don't have to sign up? What if we just take judges around and say, you know, cause this house was beautiful, but they didn't sign up, you know? And like, I don't want to participate, you know, but, you know, other people that, you know, I don't know if that's an option. You know, cause like I know the little house on Canal Street was very, very nicely decorated up on the corner.
I don't know anything about what the ordinance are for that, if there even
Yeah.
is.
There's
Cause like my
But I
thing is, like
know-
some people that rent, they don't get that letter.
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
no
if their
ordinance out
landlord
there.
gets their $20 thing, they don't get anything that
Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah.
So it was just a
We
thought for
always
next
put it
year.
on there, but even last year, I think we decided that we would try to get like some signs and just say contest or whatever, something on it.
Yeah.
That we could let people know, if you're interested, we'll come put one in your yard.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, we have to have something to go by, they have to sign something
Right.
because, to know where to go.
Yeah.
So,
Otherwise, you're just gonna be driving, I don't know, I mean, maybe you take a tour of the whole town
Mm-hmm.
that evening, you know? I don't know,
Just
something
an
to
option,
think
'cause people
about.
mentioned it, I thought, well, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely no
I mean,
ordinance out there
yeah.
around that, so,
Mhm.
So, I mean, hey, we're always open to suggestions.
other than the
Anything
ordinance
that-
that a
I mean, I
council
think the
member.
three houses were nice, but I think there was a couple else in town that, yeah, were on the list that, ooh, that was a really nice one.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But yeah, I mean, anything that's, you know, I'd like to see us decorate the town a little bit more myself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we can maybe get together and get a committee together and kinda throw some things around this summer and
Mm-hmm.
see what we can
Yeah.
do.
Like I said, just asking me, so I can, you know, ask and see.
Yep,
Yes.
I'd love to see the trees all
Yeah.
lit up in white all the way down the
That'd be
street.
cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we already have power out there, might as
Mhm.
well utilize
we
it.
had talked about it this year, but then,
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do it for the Halloween, what was it, the Halloween?
We were gonna do it for Halloween
Yeah.
and then we used your lights in here and
Yeah,
but, and that's, you know. not
but if we
like-
do a committee, we can also do, hey, look, a decorate the Belle, you know, committee.
Yeah, and then we could do it for like the different, like Halloween and
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving and Christmas and, you know, whatever.
Sounds good.
It'd be nice to get some of those lights that change colors
Mm-hmm.
on, so.
Mm-hmm. Then we don't have to take them off.
Do Easter, do,
Yeah.
just leave
Well, I
them
guess you
there.
gotta take them off whenever you trim the tree, but
So that'd be like,
Once a year.
yeah.
Well, I noticed that they've cut some of the trees down, so.
Mhm.
Some of the
With the
dead ones.
dead
Yeah.
ones.
All right, next is the final payment for West Reynolds Avenue project. Approval of last invoice action needed, for an authorization for the mayor to sign the payment orders for funds to be reimbursed by West Virginia DEP, SRF, and IJDC funds. So this is the work that's already been done. This is the final resolution for the final payment. The final payment is gonna be $76,599.07. Out of that, the town is contributing $3,865.51.
3,000.
$865.51. The rest of that is coming from the West Virginia DEP, from a non-payable grant, or non-payable grant, and from the WVIDC, JDC as well, so, which is also a grant that is not repayable, so. So with that being said, we need to adopt we need to make a motion, and the motion needs to state that, the motion is to approve to pay the amounts of $76,599.07 and grant the mayor the authorization to sign the payment orders for funds to be reimbursed by WVDP, SRF, and IJDC funds. And then this goes over to WVIJDC, who actually initiates the payments. So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right, Jacob makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
So moved, Melanie has a second. All those in favor? Say aye. Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Jacob, will you make the notes? I know what the motion needs to say.
Can I keep this or do you need this
I
back?
didn't kidding. It's just a copy of the memo.
Okay.
All right, with that, right now we have no new business, no approval of invoices, no personnel issues. You do have the police report for the month of December, if you want to look through that real quick. And there was,
Thanks,
hmm?
do we have somebody else that we found?
Yeah, I was gonna say there was one arrest. No, there was no arrest. There was a separation.
There was arrest, but it was made by,
The county,
yeah.
yeah. There was a vehicle that was towed. It was towed because, the son was driving with a suspended driver's license and was warned, and so he got towed. Was an altercation at the same address twice between a father and son. I always hate to see police calls and arrests around Christmas time, it's sad. All right, any questions or anything like that for the police report? All right, items from mayor, items from town attorney, Ray, I know you have something for us.
I do. Last month, I believe, the mayor and with the approval of the town asked me to look into the issue dealing with the Altice, wherein Altice sent us a letter requesting a refund of some previously paid B&O taxes that were paid on behalf of Sedgwick over a couple of years. And Altice was saying that these B&O taxes were due to be paid back because of the Internet Freedom Act that was due to a couple of years, I believe, without looking at it, I believe they were related to the years maybe 2020 and 2021. And anyway, so I told Dave that I would call some neighboring towns to see if they had received that letter and what they've done. And so I have a relationship with the town of East Bank. I called Chuck Blair, the mayor, and he informed me that what he had done was he had called the Public Service Commission, and he had asked them for guidance on it, which I thought was, pretty smart. And they had actually researched it. They have a legal department down there. They've got, I don't know how many lawyers that are in a general division, and some other lawyers are in specific divisions. And one lawyer actually reached out and contacted Altice and had a conference with the individuals from Altice, and actually looked into the matter fairly deeply, and came up with the conclusion that it was valid, and sent East Bank an email correspondence saying it is valid, it's authentic, and we believe you should pay it back, and we approve of it. And they sent East Bank email correspondence to that effect, which I've sent the mayor and the recorder a copy of that. So what I'm telling you is, it's appropriate that we refund that amount to Altice. You know, we really wouldn't have a defense if Altice went out and hired somebody and sued us in court. If the judge asked us why we weren't paying, we wouldn't have any legitimate response. And in fact, it's quite possible that we would be hit with their attorney fees, which would maybe amount to a substantial amount that would be added on to the amount that they're requesting. So I'm recommending that we fall in line with East Bank and pay it. We probably need to put it on the agenda for next month because, so that the town residents have notice of it. So, and then we'll have the email correspondence. So again, if it's not on the agenda,
Yeah,
you know, that's what I'm saying. To the residents,
sure.
you know, it's not on the agenda. I'm just letting you
No, I
know
understand.
in advance.
Well, and Brady called me earlier and said, you know, we can do whatever y'all think. I think we would, so the amount to be refunded back was
It's a little over
$8,000.
$8,055.88.
Yeah.
$55.
And, so, to be honest with you, we don't have that on the agenda, so I think we need to put that on the agenda for next month to approve that. It was, an act, from Congress. They actually grandfathered it through June the 30th of 2020.
Yeah.
Anything after that, they considered it, a tax on internet access, basically discriminated against electronic commerce. So, you basically, they looked at it as almost double dipping. You can't charge taxes on e-commerce, on the, internet piece of it as well as the telephonic piece of it and the television piece of it as well, so,
So along those lines, I would adjust it
yeah.
going forward so that we don't have to do it.
Well, it's been adjusted. The funny thing is the town doesn't charge them B&O tax. They self-report
Okay.
B&O tax.
Well, but.
And they fix that going
They
forward.
will not, yeah.
Correct.
They will fix that. What they did was, they self-reported it,
Yeah,
and then they realized we
They-
shouldn't have reported
they
it.
self-report too much, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so anyway,
They do it those supposed
Yeah,
to
we
be.
pay
And I
the
said,
B&O
so I don't know
bill.
how they could actually do that
Yeah,
and get, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. Anything else, Ryan?
no, that's it.
All right,
That's it.
thanks,
Just-
sir.
Just other than putting it on the agenda
Yeah.
for next month.
Yeah, so look for that on the agenda next month, as a refund to Altice. Yeah, it is to Altice, so. All right, thanks, Ray. Items from council. Mark, do you have anything?
No, sir, I do not.
All right, Jacob,
Nothing from me.
Nicole,
No,
Melanie?
Where are we at on the delinquencies?
We're actually collecting, we actually have about 13, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, 13, liens on properties out there. We had one come forward a week or so ago, get ready to sell a piece of property and there's a lien on it, and they come to get the full amount owed. So we're waiting on that check before we release the lien.
I noticed our pages went down some, that's why I asked.
They have, yep. Went down tremendously. We still got, a lot. You'll notice the door out front is a lot larger, but that also includes, I don't even know where letting them start when they start that delinquency. Keep in mind, council actually approved liens to starting at a certain dollar figure, so everything that's on that door doesn't necessarily fall within the lien ordinance of what we can actually throw a lien on, so.
How does it work if you have sold and moved, and it's still showing up on the report? How does?
Well, the town's almost stuck because we actually enacted an ordinance. If the ordinance was started after the property was sold,
Yeah,
town might have to write something
it's
up.
probably the the highest one on here, I know they've moved.
I can tell you, if we
The
have,
the question is, did they move and sell the property, or is the property still in their name? Because if I pull tax tickets, most of everybody that owes us a large amount of money, they might not live there, but that
They still-
property is still in their name.
As in they rent, as they rent it out, is it?
Possibility, but according to the ordinance from like the eighties, the ordinance states that if the renter doesn't pay, the owner of the property is responsible.
if they still have property, that lien is still technically a cloud or encumbrance on their property. They should not be able to sell that without us getting paid.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when the attorney, the closing attorney or real estate attorney goes to sell that property, they'll do a title search, and then any liens or encumbrances will show up on that title
Yeah, I
search.
believe they have the highest one on there, and it's right up there right up the road.
Yeah,
I know they moved, they were friends of ours for a while, and then I know they've sold and moved, but I thought they completely sold out.
yeah, I'll ask you when we're done who it is, and
Okay.
then have full tax tickets on everybody on there.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Melanie, do you have anything? I did wanna bring up, we did get, notification, on the opioid case, or the settlement funds, and we do have funds coming, but I don't have a number for you yet. But we did get a list from the state attorney general's office, and from the state auditor's office, who are actually teaming up together on this policy. And there are actually approved uses on where those funds can be used. And it's very detailed. I'll be honest with you, a lot of small towns and municipalities, Dave and I were talking, and we'll have to have Ray look at it, and I don't know where that can be used. I will tell you that, the state auditor and the attorney general is gonna be coming out and meeting with the municipalities that receive the funds to talk about where the funds can be used. So we don't have to make a decision yet, we haven't even got any money yet, but it does state specifically, as we voted on several months ago, that it does have to go into an account by itself. And then hopefully when, we do have a meeting with the state attorney general's office and the auditor, we'll have a better idea, maybe on some ideas where the monies can be spent, so.
Let me ask you, would it be possible they could come to a meeting and actually explain?
That's what I was, told, was that they will come to a council meeting and explain, maybe not every single item, but a detailed, summary of where those funds are.
Because it seemed to me that'd be a waste of council's time to have the attorney go over when they can come here and actually tell us
Sure.
what we could spend. on.
What I was told was there would be a special session, for the residents and for council, and that they would actually cover what could be used.
Yeah.
That's what I was told, so.
And even though I'm not a member of the town, it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be that difficult
Yeah.
or that specific to spend the money.
Well,
Yeah.
have you seen the,
No, I haven't seen it.
I mean, that's,
Well,
so anyway,
Couple things.
look for more of that information to come down the road as well, so.
And that account that it has to go into by itself, is that already open?
No.
Okay. Just kind of probably wait until we have the funds.
Yeah, we've already talked to Whitesville State Bank, which is where we'll probably, open that, but, it'll just take a few minutes to
Right,
get there.
right, okay.
I also wanted to bring up, so I'm sure Elaine might talk about this as well, but, I'm up here 4 nights a week. And I'm normally up here from 6 to 8, 6 to 7, 6 to 8, 6 to 8:30, somewhere in that range. And I'll tell you, in the last 2 weeks, I know the cops have been called twice to open gym. And the last time, poor Elaine was frustrated. This boy was on his way to fight another boy, And, come to find out, I talked to the kid who got threatened. The kid who got threatened is from Camels Creek. The boy who's driving here, the fighting was from Camels Creek. I can tell you, I'm not saying we need to close, open gym. And Elaine and I talked about this. I don't know what the answer is, but I'll tell you, we keep this gym open for our resident kids. And I think it should be for any kid who needs to get off the street and maybe come to the gym and play with their friends as a safe haven. But we're having issues, and I'll be honest with you, it ain't our local kids.
Well, a few years ago, we had problems down at the school when they had the basketball courts down there, because our kids were going down there playing. And then we had people coming from different places, there was drugs involved and all that, and that's why that we quit even doing anything down there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this was, the kid that got threatened was probably, I'm gonna guess 14 or 15. The kid that supposedly was coming to fight him was supposed to fight his older brother. He was like 17 or 18. His older brother didn't show up at Point Lick up Campbell's Creek, so he decided he was gonna come to town of Belle where his younger brother was and beat him up and teach him a lesson. So this poor kid was frantic, and mom just dropped him off, I guess. So Elaine called the police, locked the door so nobody can come busting through the door. And finally the mom comes to pick the boy up and wants to know what happened. So then the day before, a kid hit another kid in the face. And this is a kid from here in town. And you know, when the kids start playing basketball, a little bit of trash talk happens. The one kid evidently wasn't happy with the trash talk and punched the other kid in the head. And then Tim was here, and he was actually in the gym setting and watching, and kind of yelled, you know, hey, you can't do that or whatever. And the kid took off running and left. But
I'll ask a question. When the mom dropped the kid off, did she know why the kid was coming here?
I can't answer that.
Oh.
Right, I don't know.
Well, I don't think the kid that was here was expecting to have the older kid
Yeah.
come to him.
Yeah, the kid that got dropped off
Was
was
just
the one
playing basketball.
initiating the fight. He was
Oh.
the recipient of it, unfortunately.
Oh, the kid
Yeah.
that got dropped off.
He was
the
innocent.
victim, was the victim.
Correct.
Yeah. The cops did come. There was the state police. They looked younger than the kids. And, you know, nothing was done because it was hearsay and over the phone. The boy already left. But we need to think about what we can do with this stuff because, I mean, twice in 1 week is too much. And in general, 90% of the time, 90% of the kids are in there are good kids. They're in there having fun. I always come up and I'll look in there to see how many kids are in there, just take a peek. But, you know, we need to think about maybe, I don't know what the answer is.
You could look at it this way too, though. If that kid hadn't have been here and they would have
Well,
found him out there, then he could have really got
It could have
hurt.
been
So it
worse.
could have been a good thing that he wasn't.
It could have been worse, that's true.
But unfortunately, we do live in a world where the kids are even beating up the teachers these days.
Well,
So it's the children
Yeah.
these
Well,
days.
And it's not just the threat, and it is the threat that kind of worries me is like, you know, this kid's on his way up from Camels Creek, that means he's driving up here. Who's to say he doesn't pull up with a gun under
Exactly.
the seat? And I mean, in today's world, you never know. I mean, it's really bad.
I don't know if it helps, but there is a mall that was having that issue with a bunch of teenagers, and they decided that if you were under 16, you couldn't be here without a parent. So maybe something like that until it cools down, or.
Well, we even talked about, you know, you have to be a resident of Belle, but then
How do you prove
half
that for
of
a
these kids,
14?
half
Yeah.
of these kids, how do you prove that? And I still don't think maybe that's the right thing. I still think.
I don't like that either, because
Yeah, I know, I agree.
they don't have a place to go.
No, I agree. I don't think that's the right thing. And that's
Well-
not what open gym was intended for.
How about having
Well, we have that. I mean, Elaine is here and Tim's only here.
Yeah, but no offense, I can't see you, duking it out with a
Oh,
kid.
no,
either.
you
I don't
scared
see
me to
that.
death.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
I think there should be somebody younger, no offense.
I
don't
do
say
have a
anything.
question though, like the night that those state police officers come, of course, I try to call the town of Belle, and
Yeah.
no one's on call that night.
Right.
Can we not have a police officer
Yeah,
in the
there you go.
evening time during these
Well, we do,
hours? I
but
mean,
not-
We need one during the,
There's 2 nights a week we don't.
we need one during the evening more so than the day.
Exactly.
Amen.
Agree. Everybody,
You know,
the whole
I would
town is
think
saying
the
that.
evening
Right.
shift would be more important than daytime.
Well, I agree with you. My understanding was, that being no tax and the businesses
They pay
want
for that.
someone during the day.
And the school's in session.
And the school as well.
So you have to have a policeman, so I understand that too.
We thought we had the 3rd officer hired, but, it's not gonna happen. According to, there's an age limit on new hires based off of,
Civil service.
civil service, and unfortunately,
So I'm sorry, I can't come back as a police officer.
so yeah, I agree, trust me, we would love to have a police officer every night. It comes down to, would we rather not be here Monday night, Tuesday night, and be here Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday night, you know what I mean?
I can pick. If
me
you're going
personally,
to,
I-
You're not here, not be here on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
My personal opinion, I'd rather have them here on the weekend nights and, you know, but that's all I have. I need an approval for visitors to address council.
I'll make a motion.
Melanie makes a
That
motion,
was Nicole.
or I'm sorry, Nicole makes a motion. We have a second?
I'll second.
James seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody have anything?
I just have a
All
question.
4 of you.
Oh, I just have a question. I heard someone talking about the trees that were cut down. Did you say they were rotten?
They're rotten in the middle.
Rotten in the middle.
Yeah.
I just wondered, who does that? Is it the railroad or is it us?
Yeah.
We cut down a couple every year, it seems like.
Okay. I just wondered.
Are we replanting those? Because we're gonna eventually not have any more trees.
Yeah, no.
And those are pretty, I like the trees.
We could talk about that, I guess, in upcoming session.
Yeah.
And it holds the bank back too. So
Yeah,
if,
correct.
without that, the bank's gonna start falling in.
I'll throw that on the agenda for
Next
next
time.
month. As well.
Arbor Day festivity,
Do what? Yeah. mhm.
Arbor Day festivity. plant some
Cause I
trees.
would really like to see them decorated all through town. I think it would be really.
Oh yeah, I
pretty.
think that would be.
If you
really-
remember, several years ago, there was a plan to plant a bunch of,
Oh, gosh.
took us over a year to decide that we was gonna plant some rhododendrons, and then when they did, every one of them died, so.
Cause you didn't plant, there was nothing there to plant them in. You planted them in like dead soil.
In ash, yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
actually gotta
rocks.
take care of it, and you gotta water them the first like month or so, right? They gotta be watered
Okay, well, we
constantly.
want the plants that you don't have to do that.
Yes,
We want
Sit it and
trees.
forget.
something that keeps
Trees.
coming back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I definitely think in those areas when we pull the tree out though, I think that
Planted.
we talked about doing flowers years ago. I think it's gotta be another tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you're gonna mess up the whole facade of the
Mhm.
tree line. So, there you go. We talked about, right now's not the time to plant those trees anyway.
Right.
I don't
Wait for
guess.
Earth Day.
I don't guess, I'm not
You
a,
could do Earth Day.
I'm not a plant guy.
Wait until at least the snow's gone.
Yes.
Anybody have anything else?
Any update on the trash? Are we still taking it? Do we find someplace to take our
My
trash?
understanding is, no, there's no update. My understanding is county commission is working on that, trying to find a spot. I was told that they're looking at a location in Kanawha County.
Okay.
Might be in our end of the valley somewhere, but that's hearsay, so don't anybody write that down, because I don't have an area, I just heard it could be in our end of the valley. But I think it's really sad that I guess, I mean, that thing's been trash dumped
Yeah.
as long as I can remember. I mean, before he was born, we was taking lumber up there after remodels or whatever, so I have no idea how long it's been up there.
Because I'm assuming that would cost us more money, right, if we have to take it longer, so then our bills and all that
It's
would be
farther
going up.
off, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what he say, Beckley,
And hurry.
Hurdy. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at,
Beckley, Hurricane, Ashland was like. the
So our
closest.
municipal fees would have
you're
to,
looking at
you
double
definitely
or
have to.
triple the fee
Plus gas.
to haul, that's what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. So now, what was it, 2025 on that?
I think so.
So. All right, anybody else?
Do we have a website?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the address to get to that?
I think it's just Town of Belle, WV. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you.
And we do have all the ordinances in electronic format.
Right.
They're not posted yet, no.
No, I agree. I did say that. We got them in electronic format.
Here you go.
The funny
Awesome.
thing is though, if
BelleWV.com.
something, ordinance changes, we'll have to remove that whole section and upload a new section, cause listen, I'm not electronic dumb, but I cannot create a PDF or whatever, a GIF where you can go in and you can actually edit that. So it's gonna be uploaded and where you can read it, and if something gets corrected, added, subtracted, whatever, we'll have to pull that whole section down and upload another section, so.
So on this page, do we post like things that are going on?
I think there's a calendar.
Yeah, on the home page, the main page, it has a weekly thing, so it has like the open gym and,
Schedule.
Okay.
yeah.
And if you have anything to add to that, Jacob actually manages that site now, so.
And it also
I
has
just
the
found it.
monthly events as well, so it had, like, Town Hall was closed yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, cause MLK Day, the bingo date, all that stuff.
Okay, I see it, I found it, thanks.
Yes, ma'am?
I do need to ask, because when I did that site, I didn't ask for permission, so this is definitely my fault. But there is the book up there
Uh-huh.
that has the bicentennial book
Uh-huh.
that the Old Stone House did. We need to take that down.
Okay.
Because they're gonna try to resell those books. They're
Okay.
reprinting them and reselling, yeah, just,
Understand.
they're having a hard copy, and I didn't, it was my fault. I didn't even ask. I didn't even know the Old Stone House was still
Mm-hmm.
in operation at the time, so.
Yeah, I'll
That's
take that
definitely
down
my
this
It's on the
evening.
website,
Yeah,
it's on the website.
yeah, there's a history
The
page out
history
there.
tab, Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll take that down this evening.
And this has nothing to do with anything, but Shannon had posted, and my name was brought up, so I just wanted to bring this up. That chair, the swing that you gave
Oh,
me,
I didn't get it.
or, well, you know.
Somebody said
yeah.
something about, yeah.
It actually is down at the Belle Elementary, because at the time is when we had all the sewer and stuff and the other, you know, we was having problems with that. So rather than just hold on to it and not be able to use it, I went down and talked to them and they put it up down there, so it is down there on their playground. So any of the kids can use it, but it's like a, I don't wanna say handicap swing, but it's kinda like a handicap
Mhm.
swing. So, but, they've used it, I've went by there many times.
I did
during
see
the
that down there
summer.
yesterday.
Yeah, and there's a lot of kids that use it down there. I didn't realize we had so many
Yeah.
around here that, you know, so we might even think about maybe putting it on the agenda, maybe getting another one for the other.
Yeah, we can
Well, I
have another
think
one.
that was already mentioned, I think
We did.
Adam was looking at that,
Mhm.
getting another one, so.
Yeah, last council meeting, we brought it up about
Yeah.
looking to get another one.
Anybody else? Mr. Blue? No, you look like you want to say something.
Texans had a good win, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, CJ Stroud looks good. All right, we need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion. Mary happens to read.
Like, nobody was one to.
Mark makes a motion, we have a second.
I'll
We're
second.
gonna go outside.
Melanie makes a second, all those in favor say aye.
Uh,
Those opposed? And that is good.
so